Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be working on the townhouses in my Bloxburg town. So let's get into it. I know it's been like 2 months since I've last uploaded, and that was because school low-key got me tweaking out. But I'm done school. I'm finally done school, which is insane. It's just really weird to me how in college or university or whatever you guys call it in your countries, the school year just ends in April, which has just always been really weird to me because I feel like I've always been used to school ending when the weather's really hot, but like it's literally snowing right now. So I'm like, we don't have summer weather yet, and it just feels weird finishing school before summer weather. But I guess it depends on where you are around the world. I think it's really nice though, because in college/uni, your semesters are a lot shorter, so you're less likely to get burnt out. Whereas I feel like each course lasts around 3 months, which I feel like is super short. Because before, sometimes our classes would last like the entire school year, and I feel like you would always go through like some level of burnout at some point. But I feel like in university that doesn't really happen because by the time that you feel burnt out, like the semester is over. But it also kind of sucks because if you flop one assignment, your entire grade is doomed. Like there's no redemption. So I don't know. Let's start talking about the build. So I wanted to do these townhouses thingies, and I basically didn't realize that in the exterior, usually in these types of houses, they have like a staircase, and then you enter the house through the second floor, and usually on the first floor you have a parking lot or something. But I didn't want to do that. I was like, nah fam, we ain't doing that. Yeah, that's why it kind of looked off, and I didn't feel like actually doing all that. So yeah, but I still wanted to do like a cute little front yard. I think when I started this off, I was trying to make it really detailed. Then I realized that I'm building a whole entire town, and what matters is like the big picture, not how I decorate each individual building, because we have a lot of buildings, and what if I run out of plot data? I never ran out of plot data before, but what if that happens, you know? That's actually one of my biggest goals in life, because I'm a Bloxburg builder, but I've never ran out of plot data, and I feel like all these like pro Bloxburg builders, they're always like, oh my god, I ran out of plot data because my build is so detailed. Like I always wanted to experience that. So this will be like my ultimate goal of this build. Try to run out of plot data, because I feel like it shows that your build is detailed. And I don't know, I could just be yapping. Yeah, so I was really struggling with like, I think coming up with a color scheme or like decorating, because I don't know if it's because I haven't built in Bloxburg for a really long time, but the struggle was real. And I was watching this YouTuber called Panda Lemon Tart, and her builds are so cute. And I think what I really liked about her builds is that she always has like a little like character or like story behind who's using the space, and that influences how it's like decorated. Like for example, I think for one of her like townhouses, she had like poor person and his townhouse was like really stinky. And yeah, so I think it's about like coming up with like who's using the space and like a persona that makes them really interesting. So I was trying to think of what to do for the first townhouse, because I feel like the first townhouse is kind of normal. I'll just make it like a normal little family. I don't know. I'm so bad at this. You guys, I haven't seen my high school friends in a year. Like the only time we see each other is during the summer, which I feel like is kind of bad. But also it's just so hard for us to make plans because we all go to different schools, and despite the fact that we live in the same town, we live in a suburb, and our transit system is not that great, and none of us own a car. So it's really hard to just visit each other or like see each other, especially because like for me, throughout the school year, bro, I am packed. Like I don't even have time to see myself, let alone seeing my friends. And I like spend an outrageous amount of time in school. I don't know if it's because I'm an architecture major, so there's like this stereotype that we're always in the studio working. I feel like I spend like an outrageous amount of time at school, and I mean like 12 hours a day at school. Wait, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. I feel like I only have like maybe a total of 3-4 hours of classes each day, but I usually try to stay there to work. So I probably spend on average like 10 hours a day at school, maybe like 8 hours a day. 8-9 hours a day at school. It depends on the day. It made me realize that I actually spend way too much time in school. Like but I don't know, I like school. I like school, guys. I like school. I know it sounds insane, but I like school. Also guys, I'm a sucker for tiles. I love these tiles. Like there's so many tiles that I keep collecting on my Pinterest, and they're just so beautiful, and I just wanted to use them throughout like these builds because I just love them. They're so cute. Like I don't care if it doesn't match, as long as I include these tiles in my builds, I am satisfied. Like, good job, Lena. I don't care. The rest of the builds, it's okay. It's okay if it's flopping. If we have these tiles, we have accomplished our goal. Okay, guys, so I think after finishing the kitchen and the entryway, I realized that this townhouse on its own was worth 60k, which is concerning because I basically only did one room. So I decided to like tone it down a little bit. I think make like the house a lot simpler. Also because I'm trying to finish it fast because there are other townhouses that I wanted to do. But I also wanted to try putting in like a lot of details into the house because I feel like that's what makes it fun and interesting to look at. So yeah, one thing that's really weird about the layout of these houses is that the dining room will actually be on the second floor. Initially, I was thinking of having the kitchen and dining all in the one floor, but then I wanted to include a bathroom in the first floor because what if you have guests? You know, like what if you have guests and you're not really letting them into the dining room, but you're letting them only in the living room and they want to use the washroom and you don't want to expose your whole house. So yeah, that's why I think it makes sense to have a washroom on the first floor. I saw this post of this Mexican house and basically it looked really humble on the outside, but then when you go in, it was very luxurious, and it made me realize that the country that my parents are from, it's the same thing. Everyone has very like ugly looking houses, but then when you go in, a lot of people have nice houses. Like that, why is the exterior so rickety rackety and then the inside is so nice? It's just really fascinating to me because I feel like at least in North America or like in Western countries, people care way too much about how the outside of their house looks like. When it's really the inside of your house that matters the most, not the outside, you know? They say don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, and now my goal in life is that once I make my own house, I'm gonna make the outside really ugly and the inside is gonna be really nice. Because, you know, we gotta stay humble. I wonder if people do that because they don't want to get robbed. Like, I wonder if that's the case. Okay, so I think for the second townhouse, I kind of wanted it to be like clean and I guess bougie and like newly renovated. So I kind of wanted to go for that style, and I wanted to go for like a more neutral palette because with the first townhouse is kind of has like this old feel to it, like especially with the kitchen. Like I feel like old houses have brown cabinetry. Like I know y'all are probably gonna be like, why do you put brown cabinets in the kitchen? But I don't know, I just feel like a lot of old houses have a lot of brown, whereas I feel like newer houses tend to be a lot more neutral, a lot more like black and white. I wanted to like make each townhouse in a different style, and for the second townhouse I wanted to go for this, I think, very like pastel vibe, which you'll be able to tell. But we were in a bit of a pickle because I noticed that I made a mistake with the sidewalk. Like it was going through the wall and it was like peeking into the townhouse, and I couldn't delete it because if I deleted it, it would have deleted like everything that I had on the sidewalk, like all the lampposts and like, I don't know, like all the clutter that I had on the sidewalk. And I obviously didn't want to do that because it would have been like 10 million hours of putting it back. So you know what we do? We conceal. So, you know, as Bob Ross once said, happiness? What? This is Bob Ross talking about happiness. As Bob Ross once said, mistakes are happy accidents. I had this genius idea of putting this little like breakfast nook thing, which I absolutely love, and it hid the sidewalk that was peeking through, and it was just really cute, and I actually loved stuff like the living room and dining room. That was kind of the only thing that changed with the layouts within each house. But other than that, it wasn't like that significant. Since I didn't have a lot of room, so I wanted to have like a breakfast nook moment, but I also wanted to have like this informal living room type space. So rather than having like the dining room upstairs like I did with the first townhouse, I kind of just had it all within one space, which I think is really nice. I think at first I really hated this house because it was giving very much 2020 Bloxburg mom vibes. I just hated that era of Bloxburg building because, yeah, sometimes I do get nostalgic and I'm like, oh my god, back in the Bloxburg days when times were simple. But everyone would build in this style. Like this very like pastel muted, like with like your linen flooring. Like everyone would build within the style. And it was just like giving me flashbacks of this style, of this era. If you do like this style, like there's nothing wrong with it. I have like trauma associated with it because I remember a few years back, within like 2020 or 2021, I participated in this build battle, and basically I was like, let me like be experimental and try like building in a different style. And the builder was like, hey girl, like you need to build in the same style as everyone else. Like, what are you doing? I was like, bro, like what's the point of a build battle if everyone's gonna be building in the same style? You know, that's why I kind of had like a negative perception of that, but like of this building style. I have bad memories associated with it, bad blood. Also guys, thoughts on matcha. I had it for the first time yesterday and it actually tasted so good. So good. I thought it was gonna taste bad because everyone's like, oh, matcha tastes like grass. The matcha that I got tasted so nice. I loved it. I loved it. It was amazing. It was just overpriced, so I don't think I'll ever buy it again. And I'm just like a broke student right now. But it tasted really good. I think it's because I like tea and it tasted like tea. It was kind of like bubble tea in the sense that the matcha tasted like tea more rather than coffee. Oh yeah, also it had a lot of milk, so it tasted more like milk. See, it was exactly like boba, but without the bubbles. Yeah, but I liked it. I don't know, it's just me. But before I got all the gate passes in Bloxburg, I would get really annoyed when people would make all their builds using all their game passes. Like, I know free will exists, I know they can do whatever they want, but it just hurt me inside. It gave me massive FOMO because I couldn't recreate what they were building because I didn't have their game passes. So that's why I think for the last townhouse, I decided to, the only game pass I will use is multiple floors, because I realized that for the first 2 townhouses I used all the game passes and it's just within me I feel bad. You know, I see you guys, people that don't have Transform Plus and you don't have advanced placement. I see you. You are seen and I will make builds for you. Don't worry. Even people that don't have multiple floors, I will be making builds for you. No game pass builds will be coming soon. Don't worry. You're a very valid demographic within the Bloxburg community. Of going for something kind of like old and retro, similar to the first house, but then I was like, I feel like people that don't have advanced placing also deserve to have whose dog is barking? Okay, deserve to have like luxurious and modern houses. And so I thought that I'd make like the last house be like this very like modern looking house. And I swear to God, guys, I feel like they nerfed what you could do without advanced placing. Because I remember it being so much easier back in the days. Like placing counters and stuff. I don't know, it's just really challenging for me. And I don't know why. It was just, I feel like they nerfed it. Like, why does no one talk about this? It's always like the lower class guys. It's always the broke people done dirty. In real life and in Bloxburg. There's nothing really insane about it. I actually made it open concept rather than having walls within like the main living space, which made it a lot more spacious and feel a lot bigger. If your guys' house is cramped, just like take down the walls. Like honestly, just make it like open concept. Yeah, and then I also felt like it was way too spacious. But then I low-key realized that sometimes you just gotta accept the spaciousness. Like people need to be able to walk and run around your house. You know, not everything has to be cramped and cluttered. So yeah, this house is basically an embodiment of that. I was just thinking about how the season changes the vibe of a place so much. It's actually insane. I don't know if you can hear the wind whistling, but we'll ignore it. But there's this building that basically in architecture school we do a lot of like site visits and we analyze sites and then we try to like propose a better place, like a solution for the sites. Yeah, there's this site that I went to and at the very beginning of the semester it was like winter, right? It was literally snow. There was so much snow and the trees were so dead, and I kid you not, there was like I think 40 centimeters worth of snow. It was really bad. That was like initially when we did like our site visit and whatever. And then yesterday I was like saying goodbye to school because it was the last day, and then I saw that I went by that place and it looked so pretty. It looked so beautiful. The grass was so green and luscious and it was just so nice. It looked so much more different than when it was snowy, and it made me realize, wow, the weather really changes everything. Okay everyone, so we are finished with our first set of townhouses. I cannot wait to show them to you. So this is our first townhouse. It's kind of like an old townhouse type of vibe. I wanted to go for something that was old and like almost kind of like your grandma's townhouse, you know, like 1970s. I'm just saying random words. I don't even know if this is like 1970s vibes, but it's kind of old, kind of crusty. We got like lots of browns and greens. The living room. This is the kitchen. There's a hole in the ceiling. But yeah, this is the bathroom. Yummy. And we are within the dining room. This is a bedroom. Yum. And this is the second bathroom. I basically cloned all the items within like the bathrooms and the bedrooms because I was getting a little bit lazy and I needed to upload like a seating area. This is a kid's bedroom, very cute. And this is our master bedroom. All the townhouses follow this general layout, and so it's like nothing really extravagant, but yeah, this is townhouse number 1. And now we're off to townhouse number 2, which is, we'll call it the Bloxburg mom townhouse. So as you enter, it's very pastel and pink. I actually kind of like it. Like at first I really hated it, but I think it's like one of my favorites. This is the living room / dining. We have like this breakfast nook area, and you also have this informal like living room. This is the bathroom, kitchen. I basically cloned the kitchen, like even the counter. I made it custom from the other house and I cloned it here. So also all of these, I think they're about 120k. Actually I have to double check. If you do want to build this, I would say you should allocate around that much money for each one. Bedroom, kind of wanted it to look like an artist's bedroom. This is a bathroom, little seating area, another bedroom, and the master's bedroom with an ensuite. This is townhouse number 2. And then last but not least is our modern, newly renovated, no advanced placing townhouse. So I wanted to keep it very modern and minimalist. That is definitely not because I'm lazy, but I was just trying to, you know, the crunch of time. I was losing subscribers, so gotta upload this video. So yeah, it's a living room, bathroom. Here we have like this office area, and then this is a bedroom. This is our bathroom, and then we head upstairs. This is like a, I don't even know what this is, like a seating area with another bedroom. Very cute. And then our master's bedroom and this bathroom ensuite. So yeah, I think that is all for our townhouses. I'm hoping next video, I don't know, let me know, but like I'm thinking of doing this little like laneway area with like a bunch of shops and then apartments on top, or of doing a school or a subway. Let me know which one you'd like to see first, or if I should like completely take a break from this town. Let me know. I hope, oh, I'm sad. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.